I came back here to teach. I had spent the last 23 years previous to that down in Washington, D.C. But all of a sudden, when President Bob Wickenheiser had to resign, literally the Board of Trustees met on a Sunday. They called me up about 20 to 6 and said, "We're asking you to take the position of president." And I said, "When are you going to announce this?" They said 7 o'clock. So this was on the 7 o'clock news. So this was a fast transition. But when they asked me to become interim president, they also appointed Sister Margaret as senior vice president for the Franciscan mission of the school. And that was good because actually Margaret had much more administrative experience than I did.
Dominic was a very calming person. Margaret at that time was kind of the executive behind the scene. He was the front man. Margaret was the person in the back room.
There was a flow of how things could come out of their joint decisions. And that helped us tremendously.
When I left office, Margaret gave me a little figurine. It was two dolphins standing upright. This was a symbol of her and me, you know, that shake it up and the waters rage, but somehow the two of us managed to keep bobbing up and staying afloat. And that was a symbol of the crisis in some ways that we went through in those first months.
She refers many times to Thomas Plasman, who had to rebuild the university after the horrible fire. She had to rebuild the university from the tragedy of the scandal we had.
We were facing a daunting task on a number of fronts, and I think those tasks could have intimidated a person of lesser courage and confidence.
When I was chairman of the board, one of my toughest challenges was to get her to slow down every once in a while, to get her to take a vacation, which even though she was supposed to be on vacation, she was back on campus for a day. People would comment on how they'd go by at 10 o'clock at night and the light would be on in her office. She led by being with people. She was at events, she was at faculty meetings, and that wasn't just for show when the board was there. I mean, people told me that's how she was all the time.
I think what will remain most of all is simply the heritage of the way she works with people. That's one of the things is very clear in the rule of life that she helped write for contemporary Franciscans, is the way Franciscans interact with people.
It's walking in the steps of St. Francis and Clare, and who would be better in modern times to follow those steps than Sister Margaret?
Sister Margaret is the type of leader where she never looks back. When she finds direction, she wants to focus on that, and she wants to move forward. She doesn't dwell in the past.
As the ship stabilized and her leadership took us beyond that, we faced the challenge of rebuilding a university, of redefining campus life in a very positive way and enhancing the university both at the academic level and in the student life level.
The way she handles the students and the alumni is remarkable in that she is in the center of them all the time.
Sister Margaret! Sister Margaret! Sister Margaret!
She is a woman of immense personal charm and could relate to students, to most of the faculty, to alumni and donors. I mean, it is impossible not to like Sister Margaret.
My very first exposure with Sister Margaret, before I joined the board, I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. I remember going into her office and saying, "Sister, listen, I'm busy, I'm traveling all over the place. I don't want to join a board unless we're doing real work on this board." And she quickly told me with this little smile that she has, "Oh, Bob, we're doing real work here." And lo and behold, what kind of work this woman was doing was absolutely unbelievable.
She and I are the same age, and I have gone up to campus and I said, "Where's Margaret?" And they said, "Well, she's got 2 meetings in Buffalo and a luncheon, and she'll be back down here for your 3 o'clock meeting." So obviously she had to leave at the crack of dawn.
For example, if you drive with her and you miss your exit or you miss your turn, even though it would take 2 minutes to turn around and go back, she'll make you go forward and just continue on to your destination somewhere else, because she never she never looks back, and that's not in a bad way. So I tell people when they drive her, if you miss your exit, you're gonna keep going straight.
There's always the interest in getting to the light in the tunnel, seeing this through. That can only be done with honest conversation and honest introspection.
She was resolute, and I think gradually slowed down, kind of a millimeter over the time that we worked together.
I think we all know about her energy level. How many of you have gotten the handwritten note from Sister Margaret, right? How many of you have gotten that note? And you say to yourself, when does she find the time to do this? For all the people, when does she find the time to do the little things that made people really care and believe in this university?
I remember it was the first semester of my freshman year here, and unfortunately my family endured the tragic loss of a dear loved one. I remember being at the funeral home and in walked Sister Margaret. She didn't know who my relative was, but she knew that my family was hurting. She was there to show her love, support, her prayers, her condolences, and it was at that moment that I knew that she was more than an administrator. She truly loves her students here, and I'm forever grateful to her.
She connected to the people because they needed to feel the warmth and the care and the Franciscan leadership, the Franciscan Catholic leadership that she brought. That skill, that unique skill that she has, that did come natural to her.
In doing this, there is another recognition that I am compelled to make this afternoon.
I think those of us who have heard her speak know that she carries an eloquence of expression that is not found in many men and women in leadership capacities. She may be the best public speaker I've ever seen in my life.
Our dearly beloved Holy Father, Pope Francis, happily confers this prestigious Medal of Honor, Pro Ecclesia et Pontifice, upon one of the Order of St. Francis. Yours and ours, Sister Margaret Carney.
I've been blessed to have great partners in many places, but no greater blessing than the blessing to have served St. Bonaventure with Margaret Carney.
Please join me in congratulating Sister Margaret, who as of August 1st will assume the title of President Emeritus, the first in St. Bonaventure University's 150-year proud history.
During the time of Margaret's presidency at the university, we began to use the word extraordinary to describe the transformation that the university brings about in the life of its students. I think the word extraordinary really applies to what Margaret's accomplished. Margaret, my friend, you restored our belief in our capacity to achieve and to suspend disbelief in challenging times. I think this is the legacy of your presidency and what historians will comment when they write of it.
Hopefully, if we can go back to Assisi with her as a retired president, it'll be a calm, relaxed, educational, and we'll be able to have a few glasses of wine together and toast her and everything else. So that's what I'd like.
My message to Sister Margaret would be to continue to serve in the way you have served and continue to be the strong woman that she is, and to give her gifts and talents and the new roles that the Lord is calling her to do.
We will be friends and sisters forever. My message to you is, may God always bless you. And thank you for everything you have given me and my family. You are part of our family.
St. Bonaventure University is your home. That's where you belong. It is your home. So when you get done with your sabbatical, we're here with open arms to make sure you come back and you continue to be a driving influence for this university. Thank you for everything you've done.